Welcome to Shomach Shav on the Daf. We're holding in Zevachim Daf Ein. The Gemara in Amud Beis says the Melika works by any bird, by any oif, including avazim v'tanegolim, also geese and chicken. The Gemara later speaks about egla arufa and says that a goat is not like a egla arufa, it's not a calf. So it says Taisis, what's the difference? Because a egla is called be'im agaso. A goat is called a be'im adako. But by oifos, by birds, they're all the same. Doesn't matter. All birds, all oifos, considered to be the same thing. So that's why Melika works in both. Now the Rosh and Chulim, per Gimel Siman Aleph, speaks about the simonim that oifos have and which parts do they have in their body, and says the Rosh that there's some birds, some oifos, that don't have a murray, they don't have a gallbladder. And he says if you find a bird that doesn't have a gallbladder, it doesn't mean that it's treifa. Even though for some birds, if they're missing the marrow, they're treifa. But there's different birds. Some birds have, some birds don't have. It's different than animals, says the Rosh. The all behemoths is min echad. Even behemoth dak or behemoth gas is all the same min. So therefore, when you find treifa by one, it's treifa by all. But by birds, it's different. So the Ein Yitzchok, Yitzchok Elchon Inspector, in your Yerdeo Siman Beis, says it seems that the Rosh is the exact opposite of our Gemara. Because our Gemara is saying that you could do Melika by avazim v'tanegolim, by geese and chicken, and explains to Isis because all oifos are the same. And the Rosh says the exact opposite. The oifos are not the same. Animals are more similar than oifos. So how will the Rosh explain our Gemara? So it says the Yitzchak Elchon Inspector, he says the pshat is that the Rosh holds that the reason why geese and chicken, Melika works, it's not because they're the same kind as other birds, as toirin and bnei yoino, as doves and pigeons. But the reason is based on Toises and Chulin Daf Chobeis and Beis. The Tois brings a shita that in Bamah, meaning when there was no Beis Hamikdash and they were makiv on a Bamah, so all oifos ksherim, every bird could be brought on the Bamah, even chicken. Even chicken could have brought on the Bamah. And Beis Hamikdash could bring only toirin and bnei yoino, only doves and pigeons. But in the Bamah, you could bring any bird, including a chicken, including geese. So says the Ein Yitzchok, the Rosh learns like this way. The Rosh learns that in Bamah, you could have brought any bird. So immediately we find the Melika used to work by all the birds. So that's the Pshat in the Gemara. The reason why Melika does work by geese and chicken, because it's not considered to be completely mufka from geese and chicken. It used to work by a Bamah. So even though today we're in Beis Hamikdash where you could bring only pigeons and doves, but because you could have brought the geese and chicken in the Bamah, so Melika still works there to take away from the Tumah. So the reason in our Gemara that we say the Melika takes Tumah away from geese and chicken is not because they're the same kind like other birds, but because there used to be Melika there in the time of the Bamah. Toys is there in Chulin Daf Chobeis and Beis who brings it. He wants to say that maybe not. Maybe you couldn't bring geese and chicken to a Bamah. Only in the time of Bnei Noach. Noach, a guy, could have bring other birds, not necessarily Yisrael. And this connects beautifully to what Ravun or Goliath and Itzaytze Oiris Le'il in Daf Savaches or Beis says. The other Gemara mentioned that there's a shita that holds that in Bamah there is mincha and there is oifos. So Ravun or Goliath brings this Toises and Chulin that says that all birds were brought to a Bamah, or at least brought by Bnei Noach. So it says Ravun Margolios, according to this we understand something which is a little hard to understand without the stoisis. It says by Noach, that Noach brought to the table from all animals, from the Talmudic animals, he brought two, for each kind, a male and a female. But Mabehima Ta'iro, he brought 7. Why did he bring 7? In order to bring Korbanis. So usually animals that are tar, you can bring korbanos from them. But by oifos, by birds, so if you bring pigeons and doves, you're right, you can bring korbanos from there. But what about all the other kosher birds? You can't bring korbanos from all the kosher birds. So why are the other kosher birds were 7-7? Says the Ravun Margolios, but if you hold in the time of Bamah, it could be makriv other oifos. So that's the pshat, that he brought 7 of each one because they were roy for korbanos. In the time of Noach, in the time before Beis Hamikdash, you brought to a Bamah not only the toyum bnei yoino, you brought all birds. And as Rav Uri Margolius, the Rashi's lashon is that Noach would be makriv mehem korban b'tzeisoy. What does that have to say b'tzeisoy? Of course, he's doing a korban when he leaves the teva. To tell you dafka b'tzeisoy, they were makriv these korbanis, but not afterwards in Bir and Beis Hamikdash. Anyone who wants to join and sponsor the Shomachshava Shiurim, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.